And I'm Caitlin.
And welcome to
Wine About That.
Today we're going to talk about
The Boogeyman.
Wow. Nice
Okay,
movie.
no, we're
No, that's fine.
It's nice.
Let's
My wife.
It's a nice movie in the Boogeyman.
Okay, no, we're right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm Caitlin.
I'm Bastian.
And welcome back to Wine About That. This week we're going to talk about...
The Boogeyman.
Ooh, Stephen King inspired.
Yeah, and it's directed by
No, it's a story by...
Savage. Yeah, but it's directed by Rob Savage, but
Yeah.
it's from the novel of Stephen King, The Boogeyman. So this movie lasts an hour and 38 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Pretty short.
Caitlin, yeah, pretty short, but I mean, it's a horror movie, so I never like when a horror movie is way too long for no reason, so let's get running.
Well, you know. So within the first 10 minutes of the movie, a really tragic incident happens, and it's pretty jarring. And I actually don't know much about the Boogeyman. Growing up, I always knew that the Boogeyman was a creepy creature in the closet. But I didn't know the story behind it, the origin story, But I don't know, this movie overall was pretty good. It didn't scar me, it didn't spook me or shake me to my core like I was thinking it would. But it definitely kind of made me uncomfortable. I think it was well made. I think the acting was pretty decent. It wasn't outstanding by any means, but it was a good classic horror movie. That's kind of like a burner movie. You know what I mean? You go to the movies, you grab a popcorn, you get candy, you get a pop, and you just hang with friends and you go to see a film. That's the kind of vibe. It's not something that's thought provoking or very you don't meditate over it after you leave the theater, but yeah, it was pretty good. What about you?
Yeah, no, so for me, I'm not excited as you are. I'm a huge horror movie fan in general.
Yeah.
I don't know, this movie is good. I love the story of the Boogeyman. I didn't read the novel from Stephen King, but I mean, it's a well-known story, this monster in the closet that kind of haunt you or chase you, or it's children related.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm not gonna, I think the movie was good, but there's one side that kind of made me jump out of the movie. Basically, and there's no spoil here, but of course the Boogeyman can be in any homes, but the movie focus on one family, and there's this story with another house, and this story kind of put me out of the movie. I love the concept of the Boogeyman. I just think that I would have loved to think that this story is happening in one house. We know that the Boogeyman can happen in every house, but the fact that the movie focused on one main house and then there's this side story of a second house made me just I was okay, so is this monster is traveling between houses?
Yeah.
If so, how does it does that? And so I don't know, I think the movie tried to explain at some point, and that's where I think it's lacking for me, because this is a type of movie where it's kind of it's a novel from Stephen King. You don't need a clear explanation about this monster in a closet. You just need to be fearful about it. It's this monster is a monster and it's supposed to spook you. But the fact that they focus on two houses, you lose the spark of this fear. You just
because you're stuck with logically trying to figure out what's happening and how it's happening, because you're this story from growing up as a kid. You hear these old creepy tales of the monster in the closet, and then you're
and then you watch Monster and see
Monster Inc. Yeah.
And then you're not afraid about anything anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's Sully behind the door.
Yeah, seriously. And you're man, this guy's pretty cool. No, but anyway, sorry, segue. No, but you know what I mean? I know what you're saying. Exactly what you're saying. Logistically, you're trying to sort out too much in this movie where you're how is this actually even happening?
I just think they tried to fill the time at some point. They were just
I think so too.
Okay, we have an hour, 40 minutes to make a movie
also
for.
They're trying to modernize it too by making it be in every home. And it's just the
because for me it should be in every home, possibly because this is a monster that is here to just scare the children. But I don't know. I just like.
But it's like a different. It's in this movie in particular. It was the same monster in multiple homes, and it just kind of was a little. I don't know. It's just like the way it was like.
My issue with like is like he tries to explain, he tries to show, and that's my point. Like I think that kind of movie are better when you just create your own imagination of a monster, because that's the concept of the Boogeyman. Every children kind of imagine their own monster, and I think that's the vision of the director, that he decided to bring a vision of his own Boogeyman, which I respect. But then I kind of lost my fearful aspect of this movie, because I was okay, so it looks like that, okay, fine, I mean that's fine, you know, just like I love when things stay hidden in some regards and makes your imagination work. It's even stronger for me when you watch a movie like that. Yeah. And for a story like that, I would have loved to just have my own imagination work on it. You know it's dangerous, you know it can kill you, and you're just very fearful. You don't know if it's really hidden in the dark, you don't know if it has eyes or whatnot. I don't know. For me, this is like all this like story around that really attracted me towards this movie. But I don't know. It's for me this like second house side story kind of like throw me off, and that's sad because I think the story itself was good. It was like good jump scares at some point. Like there's some good things in this movie. I had a good time. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a good popcorn movie. Like you just like take your popcorn, sit with some friends, have a good time. I will watch it easily with friends for Halloween if they want to see this movie they never watched before. Was it an amazing time? No. Was it a good time? Yeah, it was good, but nothing crazy. I've seen so many horror movies that I'm a bit I'm a tough cookie when it's about like horror movies, rating horror movies. So I'm I mean, if you want, do you want?
Yeah, let's give a rating.
Yeah, I can give my rating. So for me, I will give it a 5.5, which is not a bad rating. I just think it's like it's not making much the cut for me. It's like I know so many like better movies than that. So
yeah,
5.5.
Same for me, 5.5 for me too, for the same reasons.
Yeah, I think like I said, it's not a bad movie. Don't get wrong with that. It's just like there's so many better movies out there, and like I said, there's some lacking points in this movie. And I love horror movies, and I think they should have made maybe a shorter movie, not try to explain on the second house kind of thing. Because if I'm right, a friend told me that the second house that is shown in the movie is basically the house of the novel from Stephen King. And then the second house is more like for the movie. So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. Because I feel like the first family in the first house was more on par with the story of the Boogeyman.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
But for me, that's the
yeah,
thing.
That makes sense. So 5.5 for me and 5.5 for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But it's not amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. That concludes this week's review.
Yeah. For
the Boogeyman. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, and share with your loved ones or people you are close with. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you.
Bye-bye.